What is up, guys? Mcdoubles back here with a brand new video. Oh my god, my character's not facing the right way. But today, we're going to be doing a Barbarian video, and specifically, I want to show you guys the headhunting spec. Barbarian has been changed from the last time that I saw it. This is a brand new spec. In fact, the Barbarian in totality is ridiculous looking now. I think it's so cool that I had to do a video for it ASAP. Plus, it was the class that won in my last poll in second place. So I thought, let's just push this out, and I'll do another poll for the next video. This is nuts, guys. I actually can't believe it's real, so I hope you guys enjoy, and let's jump right in. Okay, so before we do much, I'm on Headhunter right now, the troll. Let me give you guys a little bit of a recap on what happened. I recently talked to Liquid again, recently. I really like this guy. I think he's incredibly intelligent. I think his design philosophy towards CoA is way more advanced than I thought it was 2 years ago, because back then it was less him and more what they had, I guess, appropriated in some ways from the guy that worked on the project before them. Now that we're getting Liquid's full breadth of scope and all the ideas or whatever, right? All those words, we're starting to see some crazy stuff. The Tinker was hella impressive. Seraphim, all of the Sun Cleric, very impressive. Rune Master, surprisingly for a guy that doesn't like casters often, very impressive. Now here I am on the Barbarian. Now, everybody watching right now is, outside of the fact that I probably clickbaited you, right, with the thumbnail and the freaking title of the video, but that's not important. You're thinking Barbarian, you're thinking Diablo, right? Me too, of course. Why wouldn't you? In fact, when I first started playing CoA, I was 100% under the impression that a lot of it was based off of, like, re-adding the Diablo feel, adding Diablo to World of Warcraft, and in many ways, it kind of still is. However, it's definitely now a lot different than what it was before. So with the Barbarian, class, we get Brutality, and this is going to be the more Diablo-esque spec, if you can even call it that now, but I'd say it's as close as you can get to it. We have Ancestry. Oh, damn! This is a good one. You can tell from the excitement after having a long conversation literally 10 minutes ago with Liquid. But hold on real quick, guys. Do you already know what's coming? If you want to see more Conquest of Azeroth videos, more class videos, all you gotta do is let me know by liking the video. If we get to 500 likes, just like the last 3, then I will do another CoA class video. Also, check out the poll that I'm going to be putting out as soon as I put out this video to vote on the next class that I play. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the video. I'm looking at this right now, and I can't even believe how cool this is. This is like a shouting, supporty, literal, almost like a bard, but not quite. It's like a shoutcaster type of thing. Dude, it says support here, and Liquid told me they want 4 classifications. They want not just 3, DPS, healer, tank, and support, and they're actually going to make a brand new icon for support so that people recognize it as its own form of play. Now, how they finagle that when it comes to dungeon queuing and stuff, I don't know, but I'll be real. All they really have to do conceptually with support is make it to where the supporting actions of the support somehow equal giving you more DPS or utility to a degree in which it would satisfyingly replace another DPS. If that makes sense, I think you know what I'm saying. We're right on par right now with some really Mcdoubles level of ideas. So we have Brutality. This seems to be, look at this, we have the Grommash Hellscream icon right here. You're gonna see some crazy stuff. The Brutality tree, okay? Let's go ahead and look at this. So the Brutality tree right off the bat, we'll look at this in a moment, but this looks like it's going to be both probably, I'm assuming, 2H and also dual wielding aspects of what is more of a Diablo-esque energy-based warrior, okay? That's already really cool. You start off with things like Barbaric Strike, doing 120% weapon damage plus a decent amount, and also you have this new effect called Savagery. We'll see how we proc that at some point, but if you have it up, 20 less energy on the 40 energy Barbaric Strike. This will end up chaining down into pretty cool names for stuff, Barbaric Vigor and War Striker, and we get Wrecker at some point. When it comes to the starting abilities, it'll probably play into this spec quite nicely as well, because you'll see over here, I start off with Ancestral Strike, which is a mild damage ability that costs energy with a Carnage effect. It gives me a stacking buff on my enemy of Carnage. And then we have Crushing Slam that we get early on, which will actually increase in AoE damage that's conal based on the amount of Carnage stacks. You might remember this from my OG videos, because back then you could one-shot people if you stacked up the Carnage enough. I don't know if you still can, but that's a thing, right? Now, this is already cool, and I think if you like Warrior, and there's probably going to be some nutty stuff in here, if you like that archetype of just being the bigger and the badder guy than everybody else, this is the place to be. But even though I think this is going to be cool, and we will look at it in my video, to me, Headhunting and Ancestry are the places to really look at in terms of crazy creativity. They almost deserve their own separate videos, so let me know if you want to see more of the Barbarian after this video. So Headhunting is what you would think it would be if you're a freaking Chad that played Warcraft 3. It is a spec based on the freaking forest troll headhunters and warlords that's based off of the literal troll headhunter unit that threw spears that the orcs had access to, and it's freaking sick. You get the ability Headhunting Barbarian, a passive, causing an axe throwing ability that you have to repeat on your target at a speed based on your missing health and reduce its cost by 10. We'll go over axe throwing in a moment, so we can go ahead and take that, but we're gonna end up getting some nutty stuff. You get Berserker's Axe, you get Headhunter's Thirst, man, where, let's see, what's another on-use ability we can showcase real quick. Impaling Rush, Rending Axe, a bunch of axe throwy stuff. And I want to make it clear, in the old days, Barbarian had a spec called Tactics, and it was kind of cringe. And they completely scrapped it, right? And they gave us Headhunting. And in the old days, the Ranger had some pseudo form of Headhunting in it, and now it doesn't. Now the Ranger has something called Farstrider, and the Barbarian has Headhunting. So this is really unique. Now, some of the coolest abilities and talents, I think, for this are actually in the regular Barbarian tree on the far left. So you're kind of getting this idea that, you know, Barbarian in the first spec goes here, the supporty one down the middle, and then the range one down here. Now, I'm sure you could always finagle it because we're doing Dragonflight talents. You never know what people will come up with, but that's what I'm seeing at first glance. So you get something called Headhunter's Axe. Hurl your throwing weapon on a 16-second cooldown, doing 200% weapon damage based on your missing health. That will be a theme, and that is thematic in and of itself because you do damage based on missing health, or at least increase your attack speed based on missing health when you do a Troll Berserker unit upgrade on Warcraft 3. You can tell from the excitement that this actually is a big pump for me. Like, this is like I just worked out and I got the blood flowing, you know? This is nutty. Moving on down. These two talents I noticed, and I actually almost, I'm not even going to go there. I was going to say almost like that. I'll put up like a picture of what I was going to say. This is nuts. Actually, in many ways, I said it. Anyway, the point is, look at this. You want axe? Like, I love the freaking voice line. I knew where it came from. That's how much of a nerd I am with this shit, man. You want axe? Of course I want axe. Causes axe throwing to increase the critical strike chance of your next Headhunter's Axe by 10%. Okay, so just throwing my axe makes my crit go up with another axe spell, but then we move down. And we see, I'd love to. And he says that too. It's the voice line. The dude plays Warcraft 3 and knows what he's talking about. People that play Warcraft 3 and design things in the private server scene are genuinely, and I'm not saying this from a subjective point of view. Quite frankly, it is objective, okay? People that play Warcraft 3 in the private server scene are so much better at design than the ones that don't. And it shows on a deep, deep, visceral level.
Stay cool.
And this is what I'm seeing. This causes Savage Rage, an ability I'm sure I'll see soon, to allow all Barbarian abilities to affect an additional nearby enemy. Light Axe is in here as well, reducing the energy cost of axe throwing by 5. We have Berserker, the literal buff that the troll hunters get, increasing your crit by 7%, axe throwing speed by 15%, but causes all damage done to drain your health. This is big, because I was like, oh, how am I going to drain my health to get these, you know, drain health effects on my axe throwing spec abilities? That's how, and that's exactly how that would work to some varying degree when it comes to the Troll Headhunter. And you saw something similar, I believe, on the Troll Headhunter Dota hero. If you guys ever played Defense of the Ancients in the OG way, he had something that was based off something similar to this as well, where he would have lower health and do more damage or what have you. So I know it all, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. It makes me happy on a deep level, as I said, and I'm already excited. Now, that's just this, and in many ways, I might dabble in Ancestry and Brutality, but like I said, we might need dedicated videos for the Ancestry spec, because I know I'm going to go hard into headhunting in this video. But with Ancestry, okay, it says invoke the power of your northern heritage and your penchant for alcohol to support allies with short boons or cause immense frost damage on a barbarian to enemies. Now, sample spells. Ancestry Barbarian, like a Vrykrull, right? Drunken Brawler, Keg Smash, and we'll look at these real quick as well. So in this tree, you start off with Drunken Brawler. You emanate an aura at all times that increases critical strike chance of nearby party and raid members by 3%. That's a powerful aura. Over here in the actual Ancestry tree, it says you have a magical tankard that fills up over time, granting me 1 stack of fill level every 2 seconds. Some of my other abilities empty my tankard to incur a reduced cooldown. Now, some example abilities. Breath of the North. Breathes a blanket of frost upon enemies. That's so crazy for a barbarian spec. Can we just say that right off the bat? I can't believe the creativity. Not everything's just physical and smacking with my weapon? Wow. Yeah. So it's just AoE Conal Frost. Ancestral Combat gives your physical damage dealt a 25% chance to trigger an additional main hand attack as frost damage and grant a stack of fill level. And then we have Ancestral Roar. Heal yourself for 6 to 5, then grant 35 energy in 1 fill level. You get stuff like Keg Smash over here, smashing an enemy for physical damage and doing frost damage as well. This is crazy. It empties your tankard, by the way. Barbaric Rage, instantly regain maximum health and enrage yourself, increasing attack speed and reducing energy costs. Ancestor's Call. Call an honored ancestor to aid you in battle until dismissed. So that's like almost like a pet, right? Scales with spirit of all things and attack power. Whenever you use Barbaric Whirl or Whirling Advance, which is actually this one right here, I can show you Whirling Advance, right? So it's like a AoE kind of gap closer. It says your honored ancestor mimics it. Wow. And then we have Tankard Toss. Throw a tankard and stun them for 3 seconds. Blind Stupor. Whoa. Splash an enemy with ale, reducing their hit chance with attacks. Oh my god. This is Chen Stormstout from Warcraft 3. It reduces their hit chance by with all attacks by 40% and reduces movement speed by 50%. It's basically Chen Stormstout. The only way it could be true Chen is if this ability was fire, but they're going with the frost theme. And if you don't remember, it's because Chen had Breath of Fire, and then he had Throwing Ale, and if the ale was on the target and you breathe fire, they would actually take more damage over time, I believe. He also had Drunken Brawler. So the only thing keeping this from being truly Chen is the frost theme, but they want to mix in the Vrykrull idea, the Viking idea with it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Cheers! Oh my god, designate an ally as your drinking partner for 30 minutes, reducing all damage they take by 5% and causing 25% of all damage they take to be redirected to you. So as a support, this is already really crazy, is it not? Because you have to heal yourself in many ways to help your healer, right? But you could put this on the tank, and suddenly you're healing yourself, you're probably doing a lot less damage, but you're preventing your tank from taking a crazy amount of damage at the same time. I really already like that a lot. Thunderous Leap, so there is going to be another stun with a long cooldown here. Might even do decent damage. 3-minute cooldown. I like that. Dragon Flare Charge. Vrykrull as hell, right? You and your honored ancestor gain 50% more movement speed and 20% more damage. So that's really interesting, right? So you're going to have a pet, and the pet is an honored ancestor, and he can do a lot of the stuff you can do. You already know pet design on CoA is very top tier. It's already better than everything I've ever seen in any other MMORPG, and I've played basically every one of them that's ever existed in the history of anything. So there's that, right? Dragon Flayer Shout's another one. Share a drink from your tankard with all nearby allies. Oh my god, granting them increased strength based on your spirit. This ability empties your tankard, consuming the fill level stacks, and incurring a reduced cooldown based on stacks consumed. So you're going to be really good as like a melee support, which makes perfect sense, right? Clan Lord's Totem. Drop a totem of the Clan Lord. Allies within 30 yards do 15% more physical damage and gain 50% more honor. What? So this is totally like a melee support, and I don't know how many other support-oriented specs are in the game right now since they've done this rework, but yeah, I mean, I'm actually looking at every talent. That's how exciting this one is. Empower yourself for 15 seconds, causing melee attacks to cause massive bonus frost damage based on your attack power and spirit that chains to nearby enemies. This ability requires a full tankard, of course. Okay, moving on. Herald of Galakron. Galakron's a dragon, I thought, so that's interesting, but I guess he might be Vrykrull associated, so Liquid actually might know more about the lore than me, which is weird, because damn near nobody on the planet knows more than me about WoW lore, but then again, it could be pick and choose type of stuff. You emanate the might of Galakron, granting 3% more attack power to party and raid members within 40 yards of you. It says you can only have one aura up at a time, though, and so that's pretty interesting. There might be other ones to think about in that regard. We have Ymiron's Battlecry. That's definitely a Vrykrull. Does frost damage to enemies within 8 yards and restores 100% of your max energy. That's really freaking cool. The final talents are Avatar of War. You take the form of a Vrykrull, increasing your physical and frost damage dealt by 25% and reducing all damage you take by 40% on a 5-minute cooldown, though. That's I want to play this, dude. This is nuts. Ramhorn Rage. You enraged for 3 seconds, causing you to regenerate 2% max health every 1.5 seconds. Your melee auto attacks extend the duration of this effect by 2 seconds, and that's really cool as well. So essentially, I'm regenerating my health just by attacking. So if I'm taking more damage because I'm designating the tank, for example, with that other spell we saw, I think it was Cheers, right? Yeah, it was Cheers. That is perfect synergy with that one. And then the other one is Rally of the North. Every time I do the Ymiron's Battle Cry, I emanate an aura that increases physical damage by 15%. So I'm still supporting physical, guys. Wow. I really do hope there's like a caster support spec too. So I'm already really digging this, dudes. As you guys can tell, I'm really into it. I want to start off today, though, with the headhunting spec because I made Headhunter the troll, and I just want to check this out. So right off the bat, I started off with a few abilities. I showed you the melee ones that we might not get to because that's the more melee barbarian stuff. Well, at least we'll get to very sparingly. But what I do want to start off with is Headhunter. So if we go to Headhunting, the spec, I have Axe Throwing, which is just, you know, apparently it's going to be changed. There's a slight bug with it, but it's going to, you know, be a little bit quicker and happen more often soon. Then we have Headhunter's Axe, and then we have Whirling Advance. So Whirling Advance, I showed you. I like that. Every spec can use that. Axe Throwing, I start throwing my axes right, and then I can use Headhunter's Axe. That one throws a little bit differently, and I just keep on going. Now, we're going to make this happen in a really real way, because currently I'm only level 11, so as I get more talents, more gear, more energy, things are going to get better, right? But I'm really excited to see if we can make this work in some significant way to any varying degree. At the very bare minimum, make the theme come alive, or discover is a better way of saying it if the theme is even there. So, with all of that talking out of the way, you could tell I'm excited. Let me go ahead and level this guy up a little bit more, and we'll start checking some stuff out once we get more talents. Okay, so I actually played this a little bit in BGs, but it was kind of mid, but I finally got to level 15, and I just wanted to show this off at the beginning of the video, knowing that I'm going to try the other stuff more in depth, and that is the initial Brutality spec. Now, I'm doing it with a 2H, because you know I can't help myself. I've got pretty interesting abilities right now, though. So I've got what I've already showed you, but now I've also got Savage Smash, 150% weapon damage on a 16-second cooldown. It applies the Carnage effect as well. It generates 15 energy on this one, so that's pretty interesting. If you're dual wielding, it also repeats the same attack with your offhand. So there's the idea that you can go both ways. I've also got Reckless Fury, which is a very cool take on like a recklessness slash death wish, right? So I don't know why I just dropped my talents right there. But anyway, you get 15% more physical damage. Barbaric Strike extends the duration of the effect by 2 seconds. But when the effect ends, you gain exhaustion, so you take 15% more damage, and you move 15% slower. Now lastly, and we'll start fighting, I have Wrecker, which is just 165% damage on a 20-second cooldown that reduces healing received by 50% and armor by 20%. It's actually a super uber powerful ability. But the way I've got it spec'd right now is like I'm an uber powerful 2H using Barbarian. And I do like that so far. Now, these are very long cooldowns, right? So when I'm not, you know, waiting for my cooldowns, I'm spamming that Ancestral Strike. And that does not actually do a lot of damage, but you know what? It's better than doing absolutely nothing, right? All right, so we can Whirlwind in, pop some cooldowns. Okay, never mind, that thing's already dead. We popped cooldowns, though. Let's Wrecker. 306, 176 there. So it's actually pretty much a pumper spec. Like, it's just a bunch of long cooldown, massive damage 2H abilities. To me, of course, you can dual wield, right? Okay, so like Barbaric Strike, bring the energy back up. Wrecker, Savage. Oh my god. That was Crushing Slam, actually. I should be building up more Carnage before I do that, though. You definitely can't seem to one-shot with it like you used to be able to, but that's fine. I don't think you should be able to one-shot ever. Not with like a literal single ability in the traditional sense of the word. All right, so we could Wrecker first, reduce that armor, go for the Ancestral Strikes. Nice. And you can see, you can actually run out of energy. That's why having something like the Savage Smash is actually pretty good. All right, regain it with Savage Smash, Barbaric Strike. Obviously, going for the Wrecker first seems to be correct, because I want to reduce the armor before I start going in with all that damage. The thing is, at low levels, as I've told you guys, everything dies too quick. I've already confirmed with Liquid that either classes are getting nerfed heavily damage-wise, or mobs are getting buffed, or maybe, probably, more likely, some amalgamation of the two. As a result of that, you should expect combat in the final iteration of this to be a lot slower, although still fast-paced by, you know, lieu of the classes themselves. But it should actually take some effort, and you should actually have to sit there and actually use your rotation, rather than that mob literally dying instantaneously, which was pretty stupid if you really think about it. A lot of you guys have commented on how, like, oh, CoA looks good, but it's using Ascension's kind of, like, brainless combat system that's kind of like been accrued over the years, where things literally die instant. And the only way that's not true, at least from what I've realized, maybe with enough gear it's always true, but from what I've realized is when you're at like high levels of Mythic Plus or Ascended rating. The few times I've done the Ascended ratings, and the decent amount of times I've done like the higher level M+, things have died slow enough to where it's like where you would want it to be. But I don't feel like you should have to take that long to get to that point, you know what I mean? It should be a lot more common in my honest opinion. for you to actually have to play your class to kill stuff. You know, the bosses are not that badly tuned. I think they maybe don't do enough damage. But in terms of HP, like, he's not dying that fast. Still pretty fast, but not that fast. We could pop the Enrage, by the way, go for the Ancestral Strike. I'm tanking. People are actually dead somehow. Although I admit I don't know how based on everything I just said. I feel like it's just like baby mistakes, like out, you know, ranging the healer and pulling a quadrillion guys, but I couldn't tell you. Okay, we did it. That was pretty freaking easy. Now, I do think this is an Agi spec, by the way. So, you know, we'll see how that works out. One thing that I was thinking about, they're really going to have, you know, a lot of, like, effort and work cut out for them here, because I was thinking, like, they're going to have to make completely brand new tier sets. And I'm assuming they're going to pick out different, you know, they have all the Blizzard crap to look at, right? So that's not the problem. They're not going to have an art team, right? But they can look at all that stuff, and they have to pick out tier sets that fit the classes. Right? First of all, I mean, that would be the logical thing to do if they're already putting in all this work. Then they have to make tier set bonuses that make sense with the design. But then they also have to make sure there's enough gear out there for all the unique classes to use. I think that's going to be pretty interesting if they can get it right. This is just more of how the combat works, by the way. On the chickens, pop the Enrage. I really, really like this basically whirlwind charge with whirling advance. Genuinely makes me happy. Here's a 4 Carnage, and by the way, bam! 111. Okay, you can see it's not that strong compared to what it used to be. Maybe with some talents you can buff it, but I can whirlwind in. Let's get some energy back. Let's go for the Wrecker. This guy now has reduced armor. I'm actually out of energy. Oh, there we go. He's dead. So I think this one's pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. But of course, I want to show the other ones more. This is just an idea. Okay, let's try some more headhunting. Holy crap. Look at this talent that barbarians could get. Reduce the duration of any movement speed reduction effect by 50%. It's just the duration. So to give you guys an idea, right? Hamstring, which would be 8 seconds traditionally, I believe, is 4 seconds with this talent. That's still a big deal. Okay, let's reduce the energy cost, though, of axe throwing by 5. I doubt I'm going to be in enough PvP for Shake It Off to matter right now. We now have Berserker Axe, which we'll try out. Headhunter's Thirst. Wow, just one talent for 50% more physical critical strike bonus damage. Wow, all of your axe abilities essentially bounce to 2 additional enemies. This is nuts. One of the problems also is they're gonna have to add new throwing axes, but Liquid already told me they're gonna make them. It's already like on their radar. Okay, I also got another interesting ability, which is basically Undead Cannibalize. So when you kill an enemy, every 30 seconds you can eat them and regain your health. I mean, come on. It also removes exhaustion stacks, which is cool, because remember, that works with that other ability I showed you guys. That was essentially like Death Wish, but we don't have it with this spec. Okay, brand new axe ability. So Berserker Strike. You hurl your thrown weapon on an enemy, doing physical damage, plus 100% weapon damage, based on my missing health. Now I also have Headhunter's Thirst. Leap upon an enemy and enrage for 20 whole seconds, boosting the damage of Berserker's Axe, Ancestor's Fury for some reason, and Barbaric Whirl by up to 75% based on missing health, and removes Berserker when used. So I can't use that with Berserker, which we already read out. That drains my health. That's very interesting. Let's try that one first, just animation-wise. What does that look like? Oh, wow. That's actually pretty sick. So you can see it right here, Enraged Berserker's Axe, and that is this one. Let's try it. So this was actually a weird one, and I actually had to re-record this because it initially said 5 yards, but now it says 40 yards, and so it's pretty much normal, and just an extra axe to throw. And I can go in like this. I can pop the Berserker thing soon as well. I did actually just kill that utilizing just Berserker Axe. And you can see you want Axe. Your next Headhunter's Axe has 10% more crit. Okay, so let's try this, right? Berserker, and then we start throwing it. Look, my health is going down. Holy crap, my health is going down. I throw this axe as well. Whirlwind this way. Wow, you can imagine the kite potential when you start fixing the energy with more talents and stuff. Like, that's actually kind of nuts. When you get close, though, you can still go for a baby Berserker Axe and then start kiting again. This is going to be a really interesting class. So it lasts the whole time, by the way. It lasts until canceled. And while active, healing I take is reduced by 90%. It's a high skill cap, I feel like. But, you know, people will see if they can make it work. It's going to be kind of nutty. All right, guys. Dead Mines with the throwing axe spec that hits multiple targets when we throw axes. Oh my god, people share every quest now. Just take it upon yourself to keep them. I don't need them on the super fast leveling server, dude. I think the worst part is they share quests that don't have anything to do with, like, the actual dungeon. Like, they share the ones that you can only do outside of Dead Mines, or they share, like, Wailing Caverns quests that are never realistically going to get done. That's the part that I'm actually bitching about. But anyway, moving on. You can see I'm throwing axes right now, and they're bouncing, okay? Let's make Berserker's Axe bounce. You see this? It hit 2 targets, dude. Now, I don't know if this is actually going to be any good, but I did actually buy an axe. I know right now, like, don't look at the DPS. Remember, it's scaling. I'm with here like 50s, 36s, 31s. Okay, I know one guy is 17 and he's shitting on me too. But listen, it'll all be balanced. It's alpha right now. We're looking at theme right now. Theme is cool. I'm a freaking troll. I'm throwing axes. It feels good. We could turn on Berserkering. I could probably keep berserking on the entire dungeon. You can see my crit goes up by 7%. It's pretty nutty. I also got this other brand new ability, Savage Revelry, which regenerates 50% of my missing energy. I do like that. I'm literally just throwing axes and doing bottom DPS. Okay, part of the reason, by the way, is there aren't any good throwing axes, like I told you guys. So I bought this sharp throwing axe from a general vendor, but that's the best I can do right now. Berserker axe, boom, hit multiple targets. Oh my god, let's leap real quick. What does the leap do again? Boosts the damage of Berserker axe, okay, based on health. So I want low HP, basically, and then I pop it. Okay. Dude, am I gonna die by whirling away? Okay, I am low right now. Let's do this. So what does my Berserker Axe do with this HP? Oh, when you're in this mode, Headhunter's Thirst, it actually reduces the range of Berserker Axe. I don't know if they did that on purpose. That's why I got confused. It did 86. So when you're not in Headhunter's Thirst, you have a normal range on Berserker Axe. When you are, it's like melee range almost. That's crazy, actually. I wonder if they even know it's working that way. Right now, it just seems like the best thing to do is to sit in Berserker stance, if you want to call it a stance, and just throw axes all day, every day of the week. Literally, just look at me. Just freaking throwing axes, dude. Getting my energy back up with Savage Revelry, throwing more axes, and let's just keep at it. Whirlwind in, maybe for some AoE. Throw a Berserker axe. Nice. It's a bigger axe, you know. All the axes have different axes that you throw so far. So it's not all just like the same animation every time. I do appreciate that. I understand the DPS is dog. I feel like I have to say, I thought that was a throwing axe for a second. It's not. It's a normal axe. Oh yeah, throwing the axes fast. My HP is low. Am I going to kill myself? I wonder if the healer's like, how the hell is this guy taking damage? Like, can he stop? It's like, no, I can't, my friend. That's the point of my class. I'm going to throw more axes. Could I kill myself? Should we actually push it to the limits and see if we can kill ourselves? Let's whirlwind. And let's see if we can commit seppuku at the moment. I'm actually going to see if the healer... Oh, I gained a level. God didn't want me to die, dude. Thank God. Hopefully he has that plan for my real life as well. You never know. All right, keep it up. Throwing axes. One thing I like about this so far is that it's pretty fluid. Like, I just keep throwing them the entire time and they bounce from guy to guy. You can imagine with properly scaling weapons, it will actually be pretty solid. Let's just go ahead and increase our critical strike bonus damage by 50% with brutal axes. So we are agi-based, as I told you guys, so it will be all about critting, it seems. Whirlwind in there. I just refer to it as whirlwind. It's whirling advance. More throwing axes, Berserker axe. Okay, am I gonna kill myself? Or maybe it won't let me. I think this dude's like desperately trying to keep me alive, or maybe it won't let me kill myself. I killed myself! I was just curious if I could commit seppuku. Also, it's kind of sad that I just didn't get a single heal. The dude was just like, screw this guy. I don't like axe throwing dudes. And we're back, throwing axes. And by the way, I'm not turning off berserkering. I will gladly commit seppuku again. That's how stubborn I am. You don't want to heal me one time, then I will gladly commit seppuku. That's fine. Berserker axe once again. It plays really well. That much I can tell you. It genuinely plays well. I just killed myself with only 3 abilities. And that's what we're looking for right now while testing it. Okay, I'm going to turn off berserkering this time. Maybe I'm not that stubborn after all. I'm just looking at my talents as we run back. Okay, it took me a couple of years, but I did catch up with the team again. So we could keep throwing axes and not kill ourselves this time. And I also got a brand new Mog, which I think looks a little bit cleaner. All right, whirling advance. Oh, I thought I was going to fall off the cliff. Thank goodness I didn't. Thank goodness. Let's throw axes. We do have a minimum range, by the way, with the axes, I noticed. 5-yard minimum range. So you have a dead zone, actually, with axe spec. That's going to be a unique way to play it. I do remember that hunters that played with the dead zone didn't really enjoy it. I'm pretty confident outside of thematic and flavor reasons, but which I don't think many of them cared about that at all. Although I must admit I enjoyed abusing it for as long as I could abuse the dead zone, you know what I mean, as a melee player. Wow, I really like this when you can just keep going forever because the energy is not really running out too much. So the thing that's going to change with axe throwing, by the way, is as you can see, it says it repeats the spell for free at a speed based on your missing health. So eventually you're only going to have to use axe throwing one time and it will just keep happening. But as you can see, if I take my hands off it, I don't keep going, that's going to be the change, right? So keep that in mind. Axe throwing will be like auto shot, essentially. That's going to be the gist. So right now I'm wasting all my energy on it, but it won't be like that in, in the future. Maybe we'll have to come back to this once they do some changes to it and fix some of those bugs. It's just the one, but I would say it is rather pivotal for how this is playing so far. It still feels smooth and fun. I really like it a lot, to be honest with you. But I can't wait for that one thing to be different. Actually, towards the end, my DPS wasn't as bad as I thought it might be overall. Like, I mean, that's not the overall, but I just mean, like, on the boss fight, I thought I'd be dead last. Okay, I'll take that, dude. I'll take that. Wow, look at this talent. Causes Headhunter's Axe critical strikes to reset the cooldown of Savage Revelry. Every time, even though it's every 16 and a half, 17 seconds, I Headhunter's Axe. If I can guarantee that crit more often than not, I basically refill my energy bar again. That could be nutty. I do like that. And also, Shake It Off kind of reminds me of like a baby version of like Devoodoo Shuffle, which is the troll racial anyway. It's not quite the same thing, but they do kind of play together. You see it right here. Reduce the duration of all movement and pairing effects by 10%. Very interesting. So as a troll, it's like even better to be a headhunter, and I think that's really unique. Like, not even to mention that we have literal throwing spec right here. I mean, come on. 1% more crit with throwing weapons. Okay, but as I just told you guys, axe throwing is going to be changed, and so we'll have to look at that again when it's actually working perfectly, but I think this is the highlight of the video. This is going to be a spec that we need to revisit. This is going to be a version of the Barbarian that's worth looking at again. That's the point. However, for the last part of the video, what I would like to do is check out Ancestry, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so far, guys, this is actually my favorite. It already plays really interestingly, and it's one of those specs that has like a really awesome combination. Once again, physical and frost that you just don't see often. So let me show you some of the stuff I picked. So first of all, in this tree, I am going down the middle. I have things like Keg Smash, which does damage, both physical and frost, and empties my tankard. So you have this thing, and you can see it up here called Fill Level. So some abilities give you more, basically, alcohol. Some empty it, and when you empty it, that emptied ability actually has a reduced cooldown based on how many stacks that you emptied. There's going to be some finagling with that. That's going to be very interesting, I feel like. So Keg Smash empties your tankard, and then we also got an ability called Barbaric Whirl, so that's just AoE damage, and it applies carnage as well to everybody on strike. I do like that one. I also got Barbaric Rage, instantly regain 20% max health, and I enrage for more attack speed, reduced energy costs, and stuff like that. And it looks to me like the savagery thing is something that you get when you're below 35% health, because based on this ability, it says you get your savagery effects as if you were below 35% health. So that's what I think that's implying, right? Now, in the other tree, I've got Breath of the North, which can only be used after emptying my tankard. I went with Ancestral Combat for more frost damage on my auto attacks, and that's a chance to proc off my physical attacks. Ancestral Roar to heal myself and get more energy. Splash Zone causes me to empower my allies when I attack, I guess, which increases their attack power based on my spirit for 12 seconds. And then I also got Frost Giant, increase my max health by 5%, and I have a 30% chance to inflict attackers with Icy Wind. So when they attack me, I reduce their haste and their movement speed by 10%. It's going to be a really fun class. It has a little bit of everything, you know? So I was just playing around with it, and I was like, okay, I go in, I start AoEing, I start Ancestral Striking, which sounds even better for this spec. I can Keg Smash, and then I can Breath of the North. Oh my god, dude. And it's just really, really cool. I can go over here, pull this guy, do the AoE, and this AoE could be spammed, theoretically, which is actually really broken. It has an energy cost, of course, but it feels very spammable right now. In fact, I don't fully get how this works, because it says it has an 8-second cooldown, but there was a moment there where it had no cooldown. So it's like I might be just missing something, or there might be something buggy about it. What I want to get to, though, is that Breath of the North and Keg Smash combo. So I have a weak aura to track my Keg tankard level, which you can see right here. So if I go in, tankard, and now, whoa! Oh yeah, dude. That is sick. And you can just keep doing that, by the way. You don't have to fill it up all the way, but you'll get a reduced cooldown by doing that. So typically the cooldown, let's see what it is after I empty it. So it's a 12-second cooldown. So you can basically make it have no cooldown, I believe. Or maybe it's going to be a 2-second cooldown. Let's test it out by filling up the tankard. In fact, just existing is actually filling up my tankard. It's just going up. That's what's happening. So now it's, let's try it again, actually. Let's fill it up again, because I just want to make sure. And by the way, we can go ahead and try Ancestral Combat. So auto attacks will do frost damage, I believe. They have a chance. Let's make that happen without killing something. And by the way, so this is on a instant. So there's no cooldown, I think, on Keg Smash. Let's see. Yeah, so you can actually potentially do it twice if you have 2 stacks. That's actually crazy. Holy crap, that's crazy. You can see I have the Splash Zone buff for myself, so you can buff yourself with it. Let's see what happens when it goes away. Right now, it's going up by plus 20. Honestly, not that bad for the level I'm at, considering how little spirit I have, so that's pretty cool. This is Ancestral Roar, so it's just like a small animation. I feel like my guy should do the Roar animation or something like that, or the Shout animation. So that's one thing I might do different. It's the first thing I've said the whole video, though. But Ancestral Combat, I just want to see that proc, because apparently it says I have an additional chance to trigger an additional main hand attack that does frost damage. And you can see Icy Wind, by the way, as well as the boar attacks me. So I just want to make this happen. Oh, Ancestral Combat lasts until canceled, or until the effect has triggered 5 times. So you can see it with 5 stacks up there. Very weird, but I like it because it's different and unique. Okay, let's see. Proc, proc, proc. I'm just gonna get unlucky. It's a freaking quarter chance, right? But why me? Why would I ever get one for the video quickly? You know what I mean? Can I proc it with it? Oh, I got it. I saw it. Can I proc it again? Let's see if we can proc it again. Because I did lose a stack, so I got it there while spamming Ancestral Strike. I'll take that. Do I get it again? I think it was the 84. Trying to proc it right now. There we go. We got it again. 86. Okay, that's so freaking sick ass. Oh my god. I wanted to play Sun Cleric, but now I kind of want to main Ancestry. But I feel like the fact that I like so many things so far is actually like a real big testament. Because now if somebody says, what are your favorite classes on CoA? I like Sun Cleric and I like Ancestry Barbarian. Like, it's just freaking awesome, the combination, dude. All right, check it out, guys. Courtesy of Dutch, aka the man himself, aka Diesel Dutch, aka Dutch Vander, we have got 5 more CoA travel guides to give to you guys, and I'm going to be doing one based on my last video, which was a toss-up. So for the OGs, sticking with me while I play CoA for a little bit, even though views are lower overall and it makes me sad, I'm going to be giving one of you guys in this video this CoA travel guide. And once again, leave a comment in the comment section below with your League 4 in-game name, and you have a chance of winning one of my next CoA videos, assuming there is one, because I need to see 500 likes to make more CoA videos happen. All right, let's pick a winner, guys. Oh, there we go. Dazzy, there you go. You took a chance. You won, my friend. This would be a sick class talking about Rune Master. Hey, you could play it yourself if you want now. So there you go, man. Dazzy and GG. But all right, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. If you want to see more Barbarian, just let me know in the comment section below. I might just toss out some more. You know, I kind of really want to play the Ancestry spec, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of what's going down. Major changes to the Barbarian. Looks really good. Major thanks to all the members on my channel. Love and appreciate all of you guys. But I'll see all of you on the next one. Mcdoubles out.